While most technical SEO issues for Shopify stores only require one-time fixes, luckily, more technical errors will keep popping up in the future. And in order to stay on top of these new issues as they occur, you'll want to set up a simple system for ongoing technical SEO maintenance. In this video, I will show you the easiest way to make sure new technical errors don't slip through the cracks and how to prioritize fixing them in only a few minutes each month. Okay, so let's get into the ideal ongoing technical SEO maintenance setup for Shopify stores. So this is basically the technical maintenance protocol that I use and recommend you use as well, or at least try out for yourself, see how it goes, basically. And in terms of technical SEO, honestly, it shouldn't be your priority. Hopefully, you have made a lot of one-time fixes to your store, so those are one and done. But as you keep publishing, unpublishing new products, collections, blog posts, whatever, keep running your store as usual, new technical errors will pop up. So the key here is just to make sure that we're kind of dedicating the minimum amount of resources necessary. Don't want to dedicate more bandwidth than needed. Hopefully, less than 1% of your energy is going towards these technical SEO issues. Don't give them a ton of priority. But the main point here is just to make sure that if any impactful issues do pop up, you want to just have an easy way to quickly identify them, to be able to resolve it and move on with your life, basically. So in terms of how to set this up, I recommend using automated SEO tools, automated site audits, basically. So I use Ahrefs. SEMrush also has the same feature. And I'm sure there are a lot of other AI tools out there now that have similar features, do the same sort of thing. And although I do love using Screaming Frog, it's a great tool for really in-depth kind of one-off audits. The key here is that these other tools just make it super easy and convenient to just monitor the performance of your store without you needing to open up a new app or anything. And the best part is you can even use Ahrefs Site Audit for free as long as you connect your store's Google Search Console to Ahrefs. I'm not sure what the status of the SEMrush Site Audit, if they have a free feature like that as well. So yeah, I can't vouch for that. But with Ahrefs, you can use it for free. There are a few small limitations, but really it's not a big deal. Pretty much have full access to this feature. So yeah, I'll just go over how you can set that up. So you can check out this full article from them. Just Google Ahrefs Webmaster Tools. It's a breeze to set up. Basically, you just import your site from Search Console, and you can even import multiple sites at the same time. So as you don't have to go through this process multiple times for multiple sites, just do it once, kind of one and done to get it set up. So it's really easy to do there. And really, I just want to set up a few different settings. And really the main decision that you have to make here is to decide on the cadence that you want to crawl your site and receive these reports. So I recommend either weekly or monthly. Usually monthly is fine, honestly. Once you have your technical SEO foundation set up, like just kind of stay on top of things, make sure nothing is broken for too long, basically, without constantly checking these reports and spending a lot of time focusing on fixing broken links versus publishing new collection pages or something more impactful for your store. Okay, so after you get that set up, the key thing here is just to make sure that you're only focusing on the big red flags for technical SEO. So mostly including like indexing, crawlability issues. So if a page is no longer indexed anymore, lost rankings, lost traffic, that's very important to fix, as well as broken pages, broken links, which affects user experience. And you don't want to have a lot of broken links around your site. Orphan pages just shows that your internal linking is off. So improve your internal linking structure for your site. Very slow pages. So maybe you added a ton of images to certain product pages, which is slowing them down. And I mentioned very slow. So if it's something just slightly slow, like usually not a big deal. Just when something is like way off the charts, you want to jump in to address it, basically. Also, any schema issues. Schema is important just for click-through rate in the search results. So I just want to make sure that you have your product schema, brand schema across your store as necessary. So want to make sure there's nothing going on, like no code breaks basically for your store. And I'll go over a report actually here in a little bit of how to set it up. So don't get overwhelmed or anything. I'll go over how to prioritize this and a few things To note, so Ahrefs does give you a score, of course, after each audit, tell you like how well optimized your site is according to them. And the key thing, don't lose any sleep if your score drops, and really don't pay too much attention to it. Obviously, the higher the better. Like you'll have a like cleaner foundation, but their score, of course, is just a third party tool. Doesn't It's not the end all be all of SEO. Even if you fix, like, say, all the errors from Google Search Console, your store can still have ranking problems. So, just something you want to do as well as you can without, putting too much thought into it, basically. And really want to just make sure that you're fixing the most important things. And one thing you can do though is just watch your score over time. So if your score keeps dropping every month, like 5 points, that's probably a good leading indicator that something is broken. Like you have some process is messed up with managing your store. So you'll probably want to jump in and make fixes at that point. And really, if I had to put a number to it, just aim to keep your score above like 80 or so, and you'll be fine, basically. And you'll really get diminishing returns if you obsess over trying to bump up your score like one more point, get it to 95, 99, 100, something like that. So, it's not worth obsessing over that. Definitely want to spend your brain power to obsess over getting more rankings, more traffic to your collection and product pages instead of fixing these errors. Okay, so I just jumped over to the audit that I have set up for one Shopify store, just to go over kind of general settings that you can pay attention to just in a bit more detail. So like I mentioned before, so you can set the cadence here for every week, every month, every day, even if you really want to. Even turn it off and just run them manually if you wanted, but that kind of defeats the purpose of what we're trying to do here, is just kind of keep this running on autopilot. Okay, so this is like kind of schedule URL sources. So these are like the ones that are checked by default, I think. And you can even add like specific sitemaps. You want to just really make sure that every page is crawled, add a full URL list of your most important pages, something like that. I guess the sitemaps could help just to identify orphan pages. So if it's in your sitemap, but then the crawler doesn't find that page just by normal crawling methods, then that indicates like orphan pages. So that could be a good option there. But usually just keep this as a default crawl setting. So these are a lot more detailed, like how fast basically the crawler goes, what exactly you want to check in terms of your code, images, and whatnot. How many internal pages? Like obviously I would set that to the maximum. Make sure, just get as much as you can out of each of these crawls. And you can set limits for the hours, like make sure it gets cut off. Like if the crawler gets trapped or something in a loop or something. If you have a site that's really big, it could be worth reducing. How many like clicks away from homepage. And you can even ignore your robots.txt just to see, I guess, what comes back, even though robots like Googlebot will be ignoring those URLs, those directories anyways, but it is an option here. So I just wanted to go over a few options here, just to kind of show you what the setup looks like. And then now if I jump over to the audit, so as you have these set up, you can just see over time. So it's like January, just like basically every week have this set up. And you can see some of these crawls, like errors come back, get skipped. Not a big deal. It'll just come back the next week, next month, and do it. And of course, you can jump. If you see there's an error, you can jump back in and run these site audits manually if you really want to. And you can see the score fluctuate over time as well, like dropped to 80, mid 90s, 90, 88, 96. So it stays about the same range. Honestly, haven't paid too much attention to it since it's already at a decent range. Like I mentioned, not worth spending a ton of time to get this to 100%. And just to get into the details of what it looks like after you run a crawl, after a crawl runs successfully at least. You can just see a breakdown of all the different pages, URLs crawled, and of course your overall score, which it's good just to pay attention to the trends. Doesn't matter too much the actual number, like I mentioned. You can see how many errors there are. But the most important thing that you want to pay attention to is just the errors that pop up. So as you scroll down, you'll get more information. Here, there's a lot of, you can export results. Honestly, I've never done that. Haven't had so many errors that needed to like export everything in order to like work through them. And what you want to pay attention to here is just this main area of the different issues. So here is just a summary of new issues that have popped up, the top issues, so kind of by priority, like impact. So they already do have some sort of priority built in here, luckily. And if you want to see all the issues, you can just see a breakdown. Everything is categorized by the type of error, like if they're for pages that are indexable or non-indexable. They do break that out, so you can prioritize the ones that are indexable, of course, is where you'll want to spend most or all of your energy resources to fix. And really, I guess this overview does a good job of just putting everything one on top of the other. So side by side, you can see all the errors at a glance. Of course, this is by their priority, like what Ahrefs considers to be the biggest issues. So yeah, you can take that with a grain of salt. Usually it's pretty good. So like I mentioned before, orphan pages, broken page, image size is something I would probably skip. Like if I had to choose just a few of these to prioritize or fix, I would put this one towards the bottom of the list, fixing the images. Just like I mentioned, just focus on the things that have the biggest impact, because maybe the product pages that those images come from or something, not many people visit those anyway. So it's not going to slow your site down too much if you're have a big image on a site that gets a little bit of traffic. So yeah, it's just something you can keep in mind here. And then of course, if you click on any of these errors, you'll see all the full details here. So here, orphan page. So page has no incoming internal links. And this is, of course, still need to use your brain, use common sense here. So here in this case, like, oh, here's a URL, wholesale inquiry. So we're not trying to rank this page in search results. We're not going after like wholesale jewelry partner. It's just an option here. So yeah, this page doesn't really matter if there's not internal links from other important pages across the site. So yeah, still need to use your brain to determine if something's actually an issue or not. Additional information here. So here, page, everything you need to know, that could be good. Sizing information. That's probably a good page to link to here, actually. So maybe, could link to that from the homepage or from a few blog posts, something like that. A blog post about like different ring sizes, that would make sense. So it's like, okay, let's get that fixed. And you can kind of just go through each type of these errors like that, just using the common sense check here for page. What I'm going to do here, so if you just click on any of these errors, then you can see the URL of the broken page, so 404 error, and then where it was found at. So it'll give you a list of the different pages here. So open that up and you can search for that. So here I can see a link to mail to. So that link looks correct. I'm not sure what the error they were showing actually looks like. So it's something just basically just gives you a good starting point to pinpoint, hey, these are things you want to investigate, and then determine on your own if they're errors or not. So this could be just some sort of weird link going on. And if you really want to, so I could just copy that and then say, look at page source. And I don't even see that link. So something, it could be an issue here. So here's contact. And so not to go too far down the rabbit hole, but this is how you can troubleshoot. Okay, check different errors if they're actually errors, because this audit can make mistakes. So still need to double check everything. So for errors, orphan page, links to broken page. So this either within your own site or to external sites, looks like. It is broken links. So linking to product pages or URLs that don't exist. Like there's a typo here, rungstin rings instead of tungsten. So points out those sort of issues here. So where you can just jump in and fix those links accordingly so they're not broken. And that's really it. So what you want to do is just go through. If you just look at here, top issues, does a pretty good job prioritizing. Like I mentioned, just pay attention to mostly these sort of issues in order to just cut down the amount of time that you're actually spending on this. Make sure you have what you do has the biggest impact. So fixing these broken links and orphan pages, pretty good idea to get those cleaned up. And then basically, what do you want to do in this case? Just make those fixes, wait until the next crawl runs, and then see if they're still broken. Maybe you broke something else when you tried to fix those errors. And yeah, you'll just see how your site progresses over time, what new errors pop up, what new issues need to be resolved. And yeah, that really wraps things up in terms of how to set up Ahrefs Site Audit to monitor your ongoing technical SEO performance for your Shopify store. Let me know if you have any questions about it in the comments. And for more information, you can click the first link in the description below for my full technical SEO guide for Shopify stores. What we went over here is just one slide of the 90 plus pages in that guide, going over many more technical issues. So be sure to check that out if you're interested in having a solid technical SEO foundation for your store. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.